What's going on, YouTube? These videos are a lot easier to do than those news ones. So this is the first installment of what I'm calling Shit People Ask Jordan. So go ahead and just ask me anything. I'm gonna hang out here for a little while. Got my coffee, tea, liquid of choice. And also, funny enough, I was actually watching David Seaman on his live broadcast this morning, and he said that the rule is, at least for him, when you hit 1,000 live viewers on a live broadcast, then you can smoke a joint. So in fact, if I do hit 1,000 live viewers, I will light the camera. I'll do it. Washington State, beautiful place. And I'm not here to be politically correct as most people are. I'm here to, destroy the illusion. So I'm here to be myself too. So, I mean, if you have any qualms about me lighting this up on air, then, there's probably some shadow work within you that you need to do with yourself. So anyway, and I don't know if David Seaman was kidding or not. It sounded like he was serious, but anyway, I guess that's the rule now. 1,000 viewers and you get to light one up. So share this, you guys, and you'll get to see me smoke that on air. So anyway, I have a few questions that I'm going to address first that people have been asking me just around for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to probably get distracted with all these comments and I'll talk to you guys a little bit. But anyway, just some questions that I have written down that I wanted to address. Somebody asked me, when am I going to release my last William Tompkins interview? So, not only my last William Tompkins interview, it was my first and my last, it was his last one. If you don't know who William Tompkins is, go look him up. Read his book. Watch all his interviews. His story is mind-blowing. It's amazing. It's fantastic. And, it's only going to become more relevant as more disclosures come out and the mass population becomes more receptive to the truth and receptive to these disclosures. So, answer to that question though, when am I going to release it? I don't know. Very soon. I hate to stroke you guys along like Tom DeLonge, but give it like 4 or 6 weeks max. And boom, it'll be out, and I'm not saying it's an amazing interview. It's like the first interview I ever did, and I was nervous as crap. I didn't talk much, but I let him talk a lot, and that's what's most important because he's got a great story. So anyway, that'll be out soon. Next question, somebody asked me, what's the best way to decalcify the pineal gland, your third eye, or rid your body of fluoride? Now remember, fluoride is extremely toxic. It's a poison. We don't want it in our water supplies. We don't want it in our toothpastes or given to us by health authorities. So you need to get it out of your body. Not only will fluoride calcify your pineal gland, it'll screw up all kinds of parts of your brain. It's also very toxic for your thyroid. Fluoride will displace iodine. Your thyroid needs iodine to make your necessary metabolic hormones. So too much fluoride in your body means low running thyroid, hypothyroidism. Bad stuff. And fluoride is also toxic for your hormones and your bones. Anyway, get it out of your body. Cilantro, chlorella, get a very good chlorella. Greens, chlorella will chelate heavy metals out of your body. Zeolites. Be careful with zeolites. You want to make sure the brand's okay. But zeolites are basically, I believe, carbon molecules that are in a cage structure, and then different heavy metal molecules will get sucked into that cage depending upon their magnetics. I believe it's like a negative charge for zeolite, positive charge for heavy metal molecules or something like that. Get sucked in, carries them out. What else will get rid of fluoride? Intermittent fasting, doing water fasts. Basically just giving your body a break to get your digestive system and all your other organs and bodily processes revved again. We spend so much energy digesting food, and most of the food we digest is not even food, so give your body a break. And that's all I got now. Also earth, and I know you can activate your pineal gland. That's more activation, we're talking detoxification. That's all I got for you now. There's lots more we can talk about, but Probably too much fluoride in my brain, I'm forgetting, right? Anyway, question here on aluminum. That's not even a question. Never mind. Let's see here. What actions can be taken to stop chemtrails? Talk about it. Educate your friends and family. You know, wake people the F up. That's a good thing to do. To educate and stop chemtrails. You know, just awaken the people. And enough public pressure will force these things to stop. It's basically it. Let's see. Here's a question. How can we stop 5G? You know, a lot of these questions, you know, how to stop these things that are way out of our control. Again, the answer is consciousness. Increase the consciousness, get people aware of it. But when it comes to 5G, at least get away from the electro-smog, from the EMF waves as much as you can. Get out, ground, earth, you know. When you're out in nature around natural magnetic fields are actually able to absorb the energy fields of the earth, helps your health much more than getting your shit all scrambled being in the middle of the city all the time. So do that. This question, any info on if disclosure is speeding up? Yes, obviously the case. You know, you just look at the media, we've got a new person every day dropping from a sexual harassment allegation. Fantastic news. You know, lots of disclosures coming out that way. But of course, you know, extraterrestrial disclosure, that's rolling along as well. If you just saw the news video that I did here on December 1st, just a few minutes ago, I was discussing how China and Russia seem to be pushing the envelope in soft disclosure of extraterrestrial information. But over here in America, our corporate media is trying to stifle it. You know, go watch that video for more talk on it. But yes, of course, disclosure's rolling along. You know, it's maybe not the boom grand finale disclosure we're all waiting for, but just look, folks. Things are speeding up so much faster. You know, point in case, I was tagged in a local story on a local news outlet last night about vaccines. People around here near Seattle were actually handing out, they were slipping little cards with vaccine information, you know, actual vaccine ingredients on the cards, like, hey, why would you inject this into yourself? It's got this and this and this in it. Truthful info. I mean, it's not anti-vax propaganda, it's just these are the frickin' vaccine ingredients. And what they were doing, were slipping these cards into different products in Babies R Us, right? Like guerrilla truthing, guerrilla grassroots increase of consciousness. Freaking amazing. Love whoever did that. But what had happened is that, again, the local news ran the story. It was on King 5 here near Seattle. And the comments under this story, like, holy shit, people. Just a year ago, I wouldn't even imagine to see the kind of comments that I did under this story on the local news outlet. But man, it was like, why would you want vaccines in your body anyway? It was a bunch of woke-ass comments. I was like, this is awesome, you know? Little dots that are letting us know that, yes, disclosure is absolutely speeding up, but it's this disclosure of everything, not just the grand finale, like I've been saying, but vaccines and big pharma and everything, man. Everything's rolling forward. So, great question. Somebody just said, here that they want me to expound on Antarctica. And great question, because somebody just commented on here something about Antarctica and flat earth and yada yada. Here's the case, folks. Yet another convenient part of that flat earth psyop is to get people to look at multiple things the wrong way. Antarctica, like, oh, Antarctica is, you know, like close to the edge or whatever. And another thing called Operation High Jump. And let me expound on Operation High Jump real quick. Operation High Jump was an operation in the 1940s, 1947 specifically, whereby the Americans sent a whole naval armada led by Admiral Richard Byrd. They sent this armada down to Antarctica. And they sent it down to Antarctica to actually combat Nazis. You see, during World War II, the Nazis acquired very advanced technologies. They acquired it in multiple ways, but this technology was anti-gravity, was very advanced, the beginnings of electrogravitic zero-point research. They were able to get this research And what they did was they took it down to Antarctica. Well, they lost the ground war in Europe. World War II was called over, wasn't officially over. Americans then sent, of course, Operation High Jump that I was discussing, down to Antarctica in 1947. They got their asses kicked by the extremely advanced German craft, and that's the reality of Operation High Jump. And it's crucial to understand, because when you get the facts around Operation High Jump, it then begins to piece together how modern secret space programs have been formed, So this whole flat Earth psyop very conveniently has been misconstruing that Operation High Jump to many people, and that's why they can't fathom these secret space programs, or they're having more of a tougher time understanding all that's going on. So get that, folks. Not only do we have flat Earth being a psyop, but this whole aliens or demons thing is a massive psyop. Okay, I want to touch on that for a moment. So with this whole aliens or demons thing, in my opinion, what that's doing, and I'm actually going to do a full video on this, but this aliens or demon thing is really targeting, it's a psyop, another one, of course, 3-letter agency psyop, it's targeting their religious folk, the ones that have been growing up under those experiences and with those perspectives, because they've all had their brain molded in particular ways. We've all had our brain molded in particular ways. I did too. Okay, it's about breaking out of that. But a lot of people that are going along this truthing route, that do so from a religious background, like a lot of pedagogic researchers and conservatives and MAGA people, for instance, I see them falling for this aliens or demons trap because they don't know the extraterrestrial information enough quite yet to gather more logical conclusions. But a lot of people get caught up with this aliens or demons thing. But what the truth is that there's a lot of different races of extraterrestrials. Many for wanting to help humans, I should say, positive ones, many negative ones, all right? And with this whole aliens or demons thing, there are negatively oriented extraterrestrials out there that can present themselves or can phase in to your consciousness or to your physical surroundings and look like a shadow figure or a kind of what some would say demonic entity. So to say aliens or demons, no. You could switch that around and say some demons are aliens, maybe, or some aliens are demons. It's kind of a nomenclature thing. Again, language. Language is very difficult with a lot of these concepts. For instance, like calling it the deep state. You could call it that, shadow government, the military-industrial complex, the New World Order, whatever. There's a lot of different names and terminologies for different concepts. Call them extraterrestrials, non-terrestrials, aliens, whatever the case is. But saying they're all demons, no, that's not the case. So, but this also delves into a huge conversation, again, because everything is connected, about dimensions and densities and how many species of different, I should say non-terrestrials, okay, we can just say that, galactic species, we should say, are on a higher plane of existence than we are right now. We're on a third density level, as many say, and many of these non-terrestrials, whether they are positive or negative, can phase in and out very easily. And this is why many times non-terrestrials, negative ones, look like shadow figures and these demonic entities. But it's all about understanding these things and coming into your own, what should I say? I'm kind of jumping around here, but what I'm trying to say is, don't worry, right? This whole aliens or demon shtick is a big freaking fear porn game trying to make you scared shitless about this issue. It's a psychological operation that the deep state's been doing for decades, is that they want to scare you about extraterrestrials. So again, you run away from the truth or run away from any information about them. So don't be scared when delving into this research, and there's nothing to be scared about, oh, these extraterrestrials are so advanced, they're going to get us, I'm so scared. No, I mean, you can easily stand in your own sovereignty and protect yourself just by simply putting that energetic imprint out there, right? And getting into the right frame of mind. And then you can protect yourself, and you can, defend yourself against any mind-controlling entities or any to that effect that you want. You are so powerful as a human, okay? You have extreme potential and extreme power, and All you need to do is stand into your own sovereignty and understand energy, folks. You just really need to understand energy and understand, I guess, what some would call magic, but the esotericism, occultism. That's it. And by saying occultism, that doesn't necessarily infer negative. There's a lot of positive occult information. The word occult just simply means hidden. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that's hidden for good reasons, and then there's a lot of stuff that's hidden for bad reasons. So that's it there. I think that's enough information coming from that. So I guess I'll just start answering comments now. Got 648 people live. Come on, let's get that higher. Got to get to 1,000, right? So, yeah, man. Talk about, great question. Talk about summoning UFOs. So, I don't want to say summoning UFOs in particular. I want to say just summoning higher beings, right? A lot of these things, anomalies that we see in the sky, they can be craft, but they can also be live organic beings themselves. Like I was discussing, it could be a being from a higher plane of existence manifesting into this density that looks like some kind of orb, or it looks like a kind of sacred geometrical figure in the sky, but could be either one of those. But to summon them, basically, you put your intention out there. That's it. You put your energetic imprint out there, your intention out there, and if it's a imprint or a tone or a frequency that they can pick up on, they can make the choice to manifest in front of you. Now, of course, it's going to help a whole freaking lot if it's a positive, loving vibration that you put out there. But understand, your consciousness, your thoughts are non-local. They're not bound by space and time and space. I take that back. They are bound by time and space. Long conversation about that. But your thoughts are non-local, instant, right? Point to point. So you can put that thought out there, and it doesn't have to travel. Whatever is in your vicinity will pick up on that instantly. And then again, they can choose to manifest in front of you. Happened to me multiple times when I was at James Gilliland's ranch near ECETI. I've seen many orbs in the sky there. On multiple trips going there, it's usually every night you see something. And you're able to get into that meditative state, use your consciousness to attract these entities. Not only this, but it's happened to me elsewhere as well, actually right in front of my apartment complex one night. But there's many ways to do that, but that's how you summon it. Get out, away from the city, into a heart-centered space, and they'll come to you. You know, they will. It's very doable. Let's see, next question. Oh, good question here. Somebody says, how can we verify Q? They say they're not, it's a serious question. They're not a 4chan expert. Can't someone just duplicate the trip code? So my answer to that, I'm not a 4chan expert by any means either. I don't think someone can just duplicate the trip code. That's my answer to that. And how can we verify Q? That's the thing. We can't. We can't verify for a positive, absolute fact. But that's why Q has framed so much of this stuff as questions and metaphoricals and double entendres and things that you can literally have many answers to. That's why this follow the right rabbit thing is so freaking genius. Because you could say hundreds, right, of different answers that people have seen, and they all make absolute sense. And it's just all these questions that Q is giving is sending us down all these different rabbit holes and influencing the collective consciousness so amazingly. It's literally like I honestly don't think that this whole Q thing is just human. I think there's some non-terrestrials behind the scenes that are helping out as well, because it seems so higher dimensional as to what all of these questions and inferences and everything Q is posting seems, right? It's like freaking 4D chess that just influenced all our freaking consciousness over the past month. Like, boom! Holy shit! Here's all these people just, you know, super excited. typing away, researching away, people asking all these questions, following the questions, connecting the dots, investigating, and there's multiple answers to all of these questions. So it's genius. It's absolutely genius. I want to know who the heck set it up, right? Fantastic. Who or what group or whatever. Let's see. Someone said Q is obviously a letter. Gosh. Exactly. That's the beauty of it, man. Q is just a frickin' letter. But again, metaphorically, it means so much stuff. People have said, oh, Q is a security clearance. Yeah, it is. Q means question. Yeah, it does. Q means frickin', I don't even know, so many different things. But that's the point. It's got so many answers, and it's sending people down all these rabbit holes. So it's great. Somebody says this dude is so high. No, not yet. Not yet. Waiting for that 1,000. I'll light this up when I hit that 1,000. Come on, man. We're at 741. We're close. Let's see. Someone said Rothschild. Someone says, I don't think Rothschild is dead. Q said Green was white hat and mission was compromised. I don't know if Rothschild's dead either, man. We don't know. That's the thing. We can guess. We don't know. Someone says, I think Q is the president. I don't. But again, could be. I just don't think so. I think Q is very close to the president. And again, I actually don't think Q is one person anymore. Could be a group of people. I think Q is just a metaphor for white hats for the alliance, even, or like just like a subtopic or a disseminator, information disseminator from the alliance. That's what Q is. So basically it. Let us see. Next question. What do I recommend for a metal detox? I answered that a little earlier when I was talking about the fluoride. Same concept: cilantro, chlorella, zeolites, water, fasting. Lots of stuff out there. So let's see. Let's kind of navigate away from the Q stuff. I mean, Q is awesome. Do I follow David Icke? I never really have too closely, but the more and more we progress, this stuff is just seeming more and more legitimate. Like, he was one of the first ones, of course, that was always discussing this reptilian thing. He caught a lot of flack for it, and now, we are hearing that more and more out there that, yeah, there are non-terrestrial species that are reptilian in nature, and some of them have had a hand in the human species development over the past few thousand years. So, who knows? Maybe David Icke has been vindicated a lot more than we realize. Ooh, great comment here. James says flat earthers are still in the second dimension. Exactly. Another beautiful thing about this PSYOP is that when you think of the earth as just being flat, then you don't expand your thinking into 3 dimensions. And you don't think of universal energy flow being the torus. You don't think of spherical rotation, spin, torsion, right? And if you don't understand the earth being an actual sphere spinning, then you're not going to delve into the research of ley lines, the research of vortex points on the Earth's surface, and this all delves into UFO research, delves into, again, how craft are able to use these vortex points on the Earth to dematerialize in one and rematerialize at the other, portal between them, or portal between different planets or even different galaxies. So if you stop your thinking at 2D, right? Vortex math, yeah, right there. Vortex math is basically mapping geometrically, numerically, the torus, energy flow, torus, like this. So, yeah, if you shut down your thinking or stop your thinking in 2D, you're not going to get to 3D, where a lot more fun thoughts can reside, and then, get your thinking up even higher than that. So, there you go. That's some thoughts on flat Earth. Someone asks, is Flynn going to bring trouble to Trump? I kind of just answer that in my news live that I did. But, no. I think this whole Flynn thing is basically just a witch hunt by the deep state. I don't want to say the Democrats because, you know, left-right duality doesn't matter. But deep state, witch hunt versus Flynn, I think it's just gonna, it's not gonna manifest into anything big. Somebody asks, is Jason Quit my best bro? Shout out to Jason, he's awesome. Holistic Dr. Deaths, someone asked a question about that, you know, on Erin Elizabeth's website. Erin Elizabeth is Dr. Mercola's wife. On her website, Erin at healthnutnews.com, I believe, or is it healthnutnews.com? She's been following all the holistic doctor deaths that have gone on over the past couple of years. There's been upwards of 80 plus now. A 40-year-old doctor was just found murdered in his home, I believe. That was the most recent one. It was just a couple days ago. I reported on it on a YouTube video. But yeah, there's so many. There's so many just mysterious deaths past couple of years. It's been crazy. Crazy, crazy. Let's see. Somebody asked the question, what do I think of the latest Benjamin Fulford intel? So Benjamin Fulford, you got to understand, he just reports what he hears. So I take much of what Ben Fulford says with multiple grains of salt. And I think I usually take it as like a 70-30, like 70% truth, you know, 30-40% possible disinformation. So you want to be wary of it. But again, you know, a lot of stuff corroborates, and you can't ever say the person is disinfo. All you can say is their information is disinfo. So Ben Fulford, you know, I've always gotten good vibes off of him, so I still read what he posts, and I have no problem referencing it. You just always reference it with the idea that, well, maybe it's truth, maybe it's not, you know? When you look at me here on YouTube, maybe what I'm sharing with you is truth, maybe it's not. I never purposefully share untruth. And if I do that, you know, let me step back and rephrase that. I purposefully share untruth all the time, but it's untruth from mainstream media, and I specifically specify that it's untruth, you know, but I'm never stringing people along purposefully. So Ben Fulford, yeah, I like his stuff, like him. Some here, or some of his stuff, kind of weird. I don't think Marines actually stormed Langley. Did Marine choppers or rotator aircraft buzz the building? I think that's a total possibility. We hear a lot of reports that it is. I even saw a video on Facebook that looked like it was actual on-the-ground iPhone camera footage of these rotator aircraft flying over somebody. So multiple corroborating evidence pieces leading me to believe that yes, it's definitely possible that some Marine craft buzzed CIA headquarters, but I think if there was actual like land infiltration or something like that, we would hear about it, or something would happen, or, you know, I don't find that too plausible myself. Somebody asked a question, is it possible Q is AI? I mean, could be, you know, could definitely be. I don't feel like that's the case, but who knows? It's weird. It's weird stuff. But I mean, I'm not saying that to put out fear porn, you know. AI a lot of times gets a negative connotation, very much so. It could be dangerous stuff, most definitely. But in Q's case, if it was AI, if this Q person or thing or entity was AI, shoot, it's AI that's helping a bunch of people. Heck. Let's see. Next question. Are dinosaurs real? Heck yeah, dinosaurs are real. Have you seen Hillary Clinton lately? Ha! A lot of people are saying Alex Jones is a shill. You know, I always had thoughts of Alex Jones being controlled opposition simply because I believe his network is owned or it's affiliated with GCN, Global Communications Network, which is like a ABC or NBC affiliate or something like that. But anyway, his broadcasting agency is owned by a large corporation. But when I look at the actual like information Alex Jones has been sharing over the past, we'll say year, really since the Pizzagate stuff dropped, you know, a lot of his stuff, the information he's putting out there, I like. A lot of it I definitely don't like. His freaking persona is, I mean, it's his persona is specifically done. But, you know, I don't vibe. A lot of people do. Is he controlled op? Maybe. It's kind of interesting that he's putting out so much pedophilia info. You know, he tried to report on Pizzagate. He had to backtrack. He probably had to backtrack because of litigation threats, much like Ben Swann did. If you remember Ben Swann, he had to go hush because I'm sure he got some serious death and or legal threats, most likely from Alefantis directly, when he did his Pizzagate report. That was back in like February. But yeah, crazy stuff, man. Ben Swann was the only legit mainstream media. There's more, you know. I'm sure there's a lot of people in mainstream media that are dying to get the truth out there, but they can't. Ben Swann has some balls of freaking steel, and he went on his reality check, and not only did he do a Pizzagate report, but he did a vaccine report that was badass too. And of course, he had his Truth in Media. He was trying to make the documentary on America funding ISIS. Dude, I freaking love Ben Swann. Man, hope I got a view from him on at least one of my videos. That would be neat. Ooh, good one by Mr. E.T. Disclosure. He asked, talk about Tom DeLonge's tweets he deleted this week. Ooh, good question. I didn't know Tom DeLonge deleted any tweets this week. I did see a tweet from Tom again, kind of stringing us along, like, oh yeah, I'll be announcing something next week. Yeah, it's gonna be huge. Yeah. Keep waiting. Yeah, I'm gonna be so important for breaking this or something like that, you know. But I didn't know he deleted any tweets. That's pretty crazy. Yes, Tom is associated with John Podesta. Weird association, right? Very weird thing. But the same comment says alien disclosure is a lie. No, alien disclosure is not a lie. Particular, specific disclosures are put forth with agendas. And someone says there are no good aliens. Man, the trolls are getting out now. That's false. There are definitely positive forces assisting us. Let's see. New questions. Ooh. Let's see. Good question here. How does the SSP or the Secret Space Program tie into Pedogate? So, very related in that trafficking, human trafficking. So, you know, I actually don't want to answer that here. I'm going to do that in probably a specific video. But they're very related. And I would just look into John Podesta and Hillary Clinton's their, I should say, interest in the UFO phenomenon. Of course, John Podesta, in the WikiLeaks emails, not only did we have a lot of stuff discussing pizza and hot dogs and weird freaking symbolic pedo shit, but we had the emails discussing the extraterrestrial intelligence, discussing zero-point energy, and, you know, emails between John Podesta, Tom DeLonge, Air Force generals, the director of Skunk Works at Lockheed, Rob Weiss, and, of course, Dr. Edgar Mitchell, the late Edgar Mitchell. So, a lot of weird emails there. Hillary Clinton was seen walking right next to Lawrence Rockefeller with an E.T. book in hand back in 1994. So, over 20 years ago. So, right, lots of little dots there. Lots of dots. Ooh, you guys, 995, 997. Three more viewers. And you guys get to see me do this. Remember, that's the deal. 1,000 viewers. There we go. 1K. So keep your questions up. I'll do this for another, we did it. Let's see. Someone asks, Dr. Stephen Greer, good or fake news? So Dr. Greer head of the Disclosure Project. I freaking loved his information. I remember live streaming his Sirius documentary. Sorry, less talky, more lighty. I remember live streaming his Sirius documentary on Earth Day in 2013, and I mean, he's got legit UFO disclosure information. He interviews military witnesses, and it's all, you know, very professionally done. I love his info. But just because I love his info doesn't mean I'm not going to question things. And when it comes to Steven Greer, I just question what's his relationship with John Podesta, right? See, they talked, briefed in 2008 or 9, I believe. So pretty weird. And also, why are there no bad extraterrestrials? There definitely are, you know. You can't expect duality to end at our atmosphere. So there's that. So cheers, mates. Let's see. Oh, you like my finger there? Somebody said Roseanne Barr is controlled opposition. She retweeted me. Let's see. Someone mentioned Planet X. They said it's really close. So I don't think Planet X is an actual planet that's going to like crash into our solar system. I think Planet X is a reference to the binary star, the brown dwarf that our sun is in a binary star relationship with. I think that's Planet X. I don't think it's going to come through our solar system and kill us all, but I think our sun is in a binary relationship with another star that we can't see because it's a brown dwarf, and that's where the Planet X has always been misconstrued, because it's that star, and it does exert gravitational and energetic influence on us, you know, being in that cyclical relationship, moving with our star. But that's just that's my take on it. Somebody asked what I'm smoking. I'm a sativa kind of guy. Let's see. Great question. Somebody asks, how many factions do I think are at play? And they're referencing the Civil War that we have going on. I think there's a lot of different factions at play, and that's why it's so complicated, is that we have what we could call a lot of negative factions, many of them all vying for power. We have it's been said that the Rothschilds and Rockefellers across the oceans kind of split, and not only that, but we have like the Bushes and Clintons, and we have a lot of mainstream media that's throwing the Clintons under the bus, and we have the Bushes that are kind of being thrown under the bus too. All these allegations about Bush Sr. Coming out. So it's weird. There's a lot of different factions. There's probably different white hats factions too, right? So you can't assume that everybody's communicating with each other. It's so tough for them to get secured communications these days. So we could have this group of white hats over here with this group, and each group kind of has their own agendas. So it's crazy world. And let's see. Will disclosure happen before or after Christmas? That's disclosure with a big D, so I'm assuming that means the big one, disclosure of all. I think it's going to be after. I think we're going to have to wait a little while. Someone asks, have I tried DMT? No. Have not done DMT. DMT, dimethyltryptamine, that little crystal in your pineal gland that connects you to the metaphysical realm, spirit realm, right? Never done it. I don't have the desire to, really. I mean, it's cool. It sounds fun. But the most I've ever done hallucinogenically is psilocybin. Done that a handful of times. But when it comes down to it, the goal should be your own endogenous production of DMT. Your own body, your own brain's production of it. Not using it exogenously or putting something in your body. Should all be about getting into a meditative state, getting your consciousness into a point where you're secreting your own DMT and able to access those astral planes or the metaphysical realm by yourself. right? So, no, I don't plan to do DMT. I've never done DMT. And if I'm going to be technical about it, I'll just say I do DMT every night while I sleep. When I dream. Let's see. Ooh, it's a good question. What did I do before destroying the illusion? I worked at a lot of different jobs regarding health. I managed a health food store at one point in time. I worked as a chiropractic assistant in a clinical setting. I worked as a strength coach, personal trainer in a barbell gym, and also did some private holistic health coaching. So it's just a lot of different odd jobs around that. And then at one point, I was just like, screw it. I'm going to start a freaking YouTube channel. Long story, of course, but that's basically what I did. Am I a friendly alien in disguise? Maybe. Who knows? What are my thoughts on NASA? Never a straight answer. Right? They know. Look into Gary McKinnon and how he hacked NASA computers back in 2000. And he found evidence of a program, a secret space program, the Solar Warden of the Navy. And he found a list, a literal spreadsheet of non-terrestrial officers and craft, name of craft. So there you go. That's what I think of NASA. Bunch of liars. Let's see. Someone says, why do I think aliens exist? Because if you've seen the shit in the sky that I've seen, you wouldn't be asking me that question. So let's see. Is the Solar Warden the same as the Navy Secret Space Program? Somebody asks. Yeah, it's been said that that Solar Warden is a naval program, and you know that's as most as I can gather from that. Of course, we're just trying to make very educated guesses, but from all the insider information that we've discerned and deduced, and you know everything else we've gathered, it takes a long time, man. It takes years. Dr. Judy Wood. My thoughts on Judy Wood. I resonate with her information. You know, she was saying that on 9/11 there were directed energy weapons or longitudinal weapons, or what some would colloquially say as Tesla death rays, but basically they're it's a specific microwave weapon where you have two satellites. They both emit longitudinal frequencies, and where those frequencies combine creates like dustification, just disintegrates whatever's in that interference area. And on 9/11 we see these massive like 100-feet spires, concrete, steel, just dustify. So yeah, it looks like there were many things done on 9/11. So not only thermite, not only planes or, you know, explosions gone off way up in the tower, but directed energy weapons too. So there were many things done to make sure as shit that these big old towers fell. Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, good question. Somebody asked, will Trump unveil 9/11 as an inside job? I would just say, go to YouTube, look up Trump and 9/11, and I think the subtitle of it is, watch this before you vote or something. That'll help you find it. But it's some comments of Trump talking about the towers on 9/11, and he's really questioning. He's like, I don't know how the heck those towers fell, because they built these towers with the steel I-beams on the outside, and they were like thick, so no thing could get through it. And Trump, man, it's a good interview of his. Woke AF. I think I actually saw that video after the election, and I was like, oh shit, you know? I didn't support anybody through the election, but then my views on Trump, actually, most of them came to me after everything happened, so. Let's see. Answer a couple more, and I'm going to sign off for this one. Somebody says they're telling me that there are UFO technologies but no aliens. I would disagree. Somebody says Hitler's still alive after World War II. I do believe so. I think he went into Argentina, from what I understand. He did not actually die. He went to Argentina. But there were also multiple secret societies within that Nazi Reich. So we have Hitler. We also have other secret societies like the Order of the Black Sun and the Vril and whatnot that were all, vying for power and keeping their own secrets from each other. And Hitler actually was not the top of the totem pole. He was much like a Hillary Clinton or a George Bush in our own day and age, in that he was the face and the quote leader, but he was, just a puppet being held by the bankers behind the scenes. And let's see. Couple more questions. Oh, here's a good question. What do you think about Corey Good's claim of Trump disclosing the secret space program by using it against North Korea? This is one of the reasons why I'm not worried about any nuclear war with North Korea. I've heard a lot of fear in people's heads past few days about, oh my god, nuclear war, we're all gonna die. And I'm like, no, don't even worry. There's many different reasons why this isn't gonna happen. One is because we have friends in high places that aren't gonna let that happen. And two is because there's technologies that the Alliance now has access to that are Black Project, that are secret space program technologies, and they have these at the ready to use against the deep state if shit was gonna pop off, per se, right? So, I wonder how that, nuclear reactor imploded, or what had happened in North Korea. Google search this. It happened on October 30th. There was that nuclear thing that caved in and just disintegrated in North Korea, and they were like, what the heck, right? It wasn't an overt act of war, but I wonder how that happened, right? So those directed energy weapons I was discussing, now multiple factions have them. So behind the scenes war, guys, behind the scenes war. And cool. So anyway, I think so back on a White Rabbit question. I'll do this for a few more minutes. Is North Korea the hideout for Barack Obama and the cabal? Reference to a White Rabbit quote. I've kind of been mentioning this in my videos. I'm like, well, Q is referencing somehow North Korea being linked up with SpaceX and Barack Obama and the Clintons, okay? Before this point in time, I had always had the opinion of North Korea being a cabal proxy, but I didn't know how. I didn't know these connections, right? When you're asking yourself, well, how is ISIS a deep state proxy? Well, there's pictures of John McCain with some of the, ISIS generals or ISIS officials or whatnot. So there's direct connections you can make. I didn't know in my head the direct connections with North Korea. When Q came along, he posted the suppositions of, North Korea, SpaceX, Barack Obama, connections, Clintons. And he also posted a picture of the Clinton administration, Clinton officials, Podesta, Bill Clinton. This was years ago, and I believe, was it Kim Jong-il, or this was the Clinton administration, again, many years ago. But so then my mind began going, and the dots began to be followed, and I was like, ooh, okay, well, how the heck has North Korea been freaking getting all their rocket technology to go, their rockets are going higher and higher and farther just in a matter of months. Their abilities are expanding greatly in a very short time. So it's like, wow, maybe SpaceX does have something to do with North Korea's rocket technology. Maybe SpaceX is some kind of front. I've always kind of gathered that they're a front for the space programs and latest alternative technologies and these things. But for many reasons, I looked into Elon Musk and actually his political opinions, and in this day and age, he seems to be very moderate and kind of playing the innocent guy. But when you look at his past support, he actually gave some money to like the Bush presidential or political campaigns, and I believe the Clinton campaigns. So I'm like, that's pretty freaking weird, right? That's odd. Why would he be doing that? And yeah, so and with the suppositions that Q made, it's like, okay, maybe SpaceX is somehow supplying North Korea in some way with technologies, and that is a cabal hideout, more specifically a Clinton or maybe a Barack Obama hideout, right? So anyway, those are my thoughts on that. And yeah, I'm distracted by the live chat too. So I think that's this one, guys. I think I'll be doing another one of these very soon. These are pretty fun. Just gets kind of overwhelming with all these comments, but it was a good one. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be doing this again soon, and like I said in the news update I just did, tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, I'll be doing a live YouTube video on Michael Trim's YouTube channel, fellow truther, fellow, investigator, and we'll be talking about the secret space program. So tune into his channel to check that out. Be doing more whiteboard videos, be releasing some interviews, and again, thank you all for your support, help on Patreon, everything you guys are doing, sharing these videos, and continuing to enjoy what I do. Thank you. Peace.